Diablo Immortal update is dropping on the 27th. The patch notes dropped yesterday, and unfortunately, I was not in office and not able to record them for you. And actually, I'm not in office right now either, as you could tell from how this content is coming out. But I wanted to go over a few things from these patch notes. Now, we talked about a lot of these details over the past week or so as we've gotten some leaks, as we've had some information from the roadmap, and we really covered it pretty well. But there's a few things that we did not get into. Let's kind of recap a few things to start. We have the new tale coming from Deckard Cain. It's essentially some new storyline that we're going to be able to play through, which is always nice. We got a little bit more story in Diablo Immortal. You can't hate on that. Terror rifts are going to be opening up inside of certain realms, which are going to offer us empowered equipment, which is going to be the new equipment for long-term end game players. This is going to be the really grinder type stuff that's going to take our game to the next level. Really exciting that we're going to be able to participate in those. Plus, we're going to be able to get Terror Essence, which drops and is actually sellable for platinum in the market as well. So either you can use it for getting that equipment and embarking on those new zones to grab that equipment, or you could sell it for platinum and invest it in either pets or inside of gems. Oblivion Pillars are also where you're going to be able to dive into these battles. Now, keep in mind, all of these patch notes I'll be linking down below if you want to go take a deeper look. I'm obviously going a little bit less in depth today because I'm not in office, but I am very much looking forward to these Oblivion Pillars and seeing what this new empowered gear looks like, which you can also get from Hellslayer bounties. Now, Hellslayer bounties are going to be when you are able to take that red juice, combine it, and put your bounties together into one, and then it's going to enable you to potentially, a small percentage chance, drop some empowered equipment. Keep in mind when you are going through the other areas that we mentioned above, so when we're going through some Oblivion Pillars and the tears in the realms, you will be able to do those solo, which is actually quite nice, and it's going to really test you and your personal best and how well you could actually stand against some pretty big enemies. Now, empowered equipment is going to have some stuff that's really specific to your class, which, as we talked about in the past, could affect class change in a negative way. We're going to have to see how that comes. There are 56 different affixes between all of the different character classes combined, and those are very specific to those character classes, hence going to be really determining what we can do. Developers note, when stacked once and twice, the upper limit is changed from 4 to 5. When stacked 3 times and 4 times, the upper limit is changed to 6. The upper limit of the dead captain is changed to 2. The upper limit of the dead mage remains unchanged. All right, a little bit more details here. Now we're going to start getting into some things that we did not know of before. Heard a little bit of a rumor about this. I didn't know that it would be true, but it actually is 1v1 duels coming to Diablo Immortal. You're going to be able to 1v1 others. And now I thought this was going to be something where you had to go to a different server to participate, but as you can see, players over level 60 can now face off against fellow adventurers in single combat duels to the death. Head to Westmar Training Grounds and invite your opponent to a duel. After your fellow combatant has accepted your request for a fight, the duel will commence with a total of 60 seconds allotted for the match. A duel is won when a player is successfully killed or the 60-second countdown has ended. If the duel is ended by a timer, the player with the higher percentage of health is declared the victor. The victor goes with the victor, or to the victor goes the spoils. The winner of the duel will receive a specially marked ear that records the opponent's defeat information, marking the time they were successfully dispatched. If you manage to win more than 2 duels in a row, you'll receive a mark in-game that signifies your consecutive streaks, which resets at the end of the day. I absolutely love this. So many people want to do some 1v1 duels, and now we're going to be able to do it. And I actually also love that they're quick, 1-minute duels, and that they're easy to get ourselves into. I think this is going to be massive for the game, and a lot of people are going to really enjoy this, potentially even being able to set up some real PvP battles that we could do a little bit of esports within. I'm absolutely in love with that. Now, we do have 3 new legendary gems. I can't believe it, but the legendary gem that we spoke of the other day is actually dropping. We're getting a new 2-star gem where every second you maintain a channeled skill, you launch 2 arcane missiles that deal 32% base damage, 120 to random enemies. Your channeled skill deals 6% increased damage. We have a new 1-star gem, Misery Elixir. The duration of the harmful effects you inflict is increased by 24%. Damage you deal to enemies suffering from harmful effects is increased by 2%. And the new God tier 5-star gem, Roiling Consequence. Dealing damage sends you into a roiling rage for 6 seconds, during which your critical hit chance is increased by 42%, and critical hit causes a fire explosion that burns enemies for 36% of base damage over 3 seconds. Explosions cannot occur more often than once every 1 second. Roiling Rage cannot trigger more than once every 20 seconds. Your critical hit chance against burning enemies increased by 12%. So this is crazy right here. You're going to also be able to modify your drops, so save those legendary crests, run them during the modified drop, guys, and try and get yourself better chances of getting the Rolling Consequence. I'm going to be buying a bunch of crests and running these because this is a gem that I believe I'm going to want to have in my lineup. It's not only nice looking, but it seems like it's really going to do a lot of work in PvP. We have some gem trials. 27th through April 17th, players can find a new trial in Winston's Grand Marketplace where they can read about Legendary Gem's powers and activate a one-time use trial of the gem to see it in action. This was something that I really didn't take too much of an advantage of with Maw of the Deep, but maybe I will with this one just to see how it actually plays. Gives you an idea before you decide to dive into it and actually spend or invest your 50% drop rate to getting that one. New chapters of Hero's Journey are going to be dropped in here as well, which are going to give us a bunch more rewards and earn champions commendations in the Hellrise limited time event. We have a lot of events that are dropping inside of the game. Let's look at this one a little bit more in depth, actually. From the 27th through the 10th, you can embark on the Champions Revolt task, which can be completed infinitely to receive champions commendations. You can have a total of 1,200 champions commendations each week. Once you've gathered a sizable chunk of commendations, then they can be exchanged for rewards such as gold, scrap, dust, legendary items, pearls, and legendary crests. This is going to be just like the team-based event we had in the previous update. It's nothing crazy exciting, but it's a way to get some more rewards. You have a bunch of returning events. Of course, we see these every time. Fractured Plains is going to be coming back. Conquer is going to be back as well. Shield of the Hearth limited time event. And Hungering Moon, of course, she'll be back as well. Featured updates. We have a bunch of things happening that are class specific for each of the classes, which you could pause at any point in time and get the details, or click on the link in the description for the details specific to your class. I may put something together specific to this in a standalone video once we get ourselves back in the office, but all of them are getting some updates. Increased stash tabs with the Boon of Plenty. For players that seek the rewards of the Boon of Plenty, we've increased the amount of stash tabs you earn from using it, which is awesome. I'm one of the people that uses that, and I will be taking advantage. And they're adding 11 new entries into the bestiary, which for me, for about a month now, I've had it 100% completed, so I'll be able to go hunting a little bit longer. There's also a new season of Prodigy's Path, which is a very good value in the game. I'll be picking that one up. Warband improvements. We've made a few changes to the Warband camp. When contributing to the Warband stash, the new item, Auto Salvage feature, would automatically read the maximum equipment level and update it in real time. The input method for setting into the Auto Salvage level will change in the keyboard input instead of a list of options, making it easier. Additionally, new NPCs have entered the Warband camp. We're adding the Essence Transfer and Jewelers, which is very nice. Dungeon changes. This is a big one, everyone, because people are not happy about this. Essentially, people are going to be able to ride the coattails of higher level players and just essentially teleport to the end of dungeons to claim the big rewards. It's as it says right here, we've made a few changes to help optimize dungeon gameplay for parties to make it more efficient in a group. While playing within a dungeon, if players have to meet at a specific area, if players are falling behind the group, well, they will now be auto-teleported to the meeting point. We've also removed the invulnerability of bosses from as many stages as possible, added the ability to skip cutscenes that were once unskippable, and required all party members to be present to view. Now, this is really, I guess, I see why it's put in place. It's going to allow for us to not be held up by party members, but at the same time, it's going to allow party members that are just not supposed to be playing that level, playing it just to farm the gear and riding the coattails. And really, as a party leader, you're going to need to make sure that the people that are in your party are ones that you actually want to be in there and that are not going to just be leeching off of you. There's some resonance changes. We found that some players lowered the resonance levels and used the powers of the normal gem to have an unseemly advantage in battlegrounds. We're now factoring in normal gem power when using the matchmaking algorithm. They've also optimized the matchmaking algorithm to now consider armor penetration, armor potency, and resistance. Players with high values in each of these categories will be better matched with players. So they're trying to balance battlegrounds a little bit more, which is not the worst. We've extended the legendary gem unlock in your inventory to all equipment. And that's really it for everything right there. That's huge. We do have some changes to things with the immortals, in-game achievements, etc., etc. Salvaging. The next time you open up the menu to salvage, it'll remember the rarity of the last item you salvaged, making it easier to salvage more items of that rarity. So it's essentially going to be auto-clicked right there. And something else that I wanted to mention was for region-specific, you can see it right here. These are coming to China, and we should not be seeing them over here in our region. But a feature has been added that automates gameplay for the player, inputting their character movements and behavior. We've no plans to bring this feature to the regions, to all other regions in the future update. So it's essentially going to be autoplay being brought to Diablo Immortal in China. I hope that we never do see this in the United States. You guys probably hear some wind in the background. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, I'm not at my office to do my normal recordings, so this is definitely not the quality that I typically send out, but I wanted to give you guys a little bit of something, being that I know you come to me for what's going on and what's coming in the updates. Definitely will be back very soon and able to give you the more in-depth analysis that I like to do. But this is it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know in the comment section below if you're excited about the update and essentially where you stand. I think this is going to be a good one. I think it's going to be a big one. I think there's a few things that we need to do. One of them being make sure we get our hands on that brand new 5-star gem. Guys, I'll see you back here tomorrow with another Diablo Immortal video.